All right, lawmakers begin to return to Capitol Hill tomorrow for the first time since the election. The balance of power will shift in Congress in January, with Republicans taking control of the Senate. Some House races have not been fully called, and some ballots are still being counted. CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion is joining me now from the Hill with more. All right, Nikole, let's talk about the Senate Majority Leader. It's kind of interesting to see the dynamic at play right now. What are you hearing?
Yeah, well, this will be a changing of the guard. Obviously, as Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has been in leadership for many years now, but he made the decision earlier this year that he would step aside from leadership and serve out the remainder of his term, which means there has been a lot of jockeying over these last couple of months for that position, who will lead the Senate Republican Party. And of course, now that they will be in the majority next year, that means whoever wins this position would become Senate Majority Leader. So we know that there is stiff competition between Texas Senator John Cornyn, John Thune, who is the Republican whip currently, and also Florida Senator Rick Scott, who most notably has picked up support from a number of Trump allies, including Elon Musk. And I guess that's a big question that we are watching for ahead of the election this week, is whether or not the former president, now president-elect, will endorse a candidate in the race. He has done that before in other leadership contests here on Capitol Hill, but whether or not he goes so far as to kind of put his thumb on the scale, if you will, is kind of the big question moving forward.
Let me ask you about the House majority, which is still not settled yet, Nikole. Where are we as far as the count is concerned?
Well, obviously, things are starting to tighten up. We are still characterizing this race as lean Republican. There are still a number of outstanding House races that have yet to be called, and that's certainly what Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is hoping for and holding out hope, saying that, Democrats are not going to concede at this point in time, that, there are many races that are still outstanding that are too close to call. That being said, House Republicans really feel very confident in their posture. They do plan to move forward with leadership elections as soon as this week, but they believe with pretty strong confidence that they'll have the ability to retain the majority, I should say. The bottom line, though, is that whichever party ultimately wins, it's pretty clear that either side would have a very narrow majority, which is not unusual to what we have seen over the last couple of cycles here on Capitol Hill.
And let's talk about a current member of Congress, Nikole, Elise Stefanik. It's been reported that the president-elect has chosen her for UN ambassador. Why do you think that she was picked, and what does it mean for the leadership structure in the House if she accepts?
Well, we know Elise Stefanik has been a very strong ally of the president-elect for some time now, so much so she was even on his short list to potentially become vice president or the vice presidential nominee. But, she has spent a lot of time campaigning on the part of the president-elect. She has worked very closely with him. She certainly has gotten a lot of attention for her work here on Capitol Hill, probably most notably for those series of hearings that we saw with a number of college presidents on the issue of anti-Semitism. And we saw a number of college presidents from Harvard to UPenn resign in light of some of the tough questioning that she had for those college presidents. But she has also served as the head of the Republican conference here in the House. And that also is a big question going forward, now that she is moving on into the Trump administration, who might fill her position in leadership. And as you can imagine, Vlad, the jockeying for that position has already begun in earnest.
Indeed, it has. Nikole Killion reporting on the Hill for us. Thank you, Nikole. Appreciate it.
You bet.